Tama ba? Ito yung class na may foreign student tayo?
Opo.
Okay. Sige. Okay. So I think we could start. Let's wait for the others na lang din. I think we are still waiting for the three students. Like what I've said, pakiusap ko lang is please be on time. I'm already able to meet the two sections no, face to face, and I am really hoping then to meet all of you face to face. I think by next week. So today, I already discussed this to the other section kanina by 7 a.m. yung safety, workshop safety, which is part ng ating syllabus. So if we look onto the syllabus, uh, core syllabus, so we are already done with the introduction and the discussion of our core syllabus. No? Then we proceed to our topic, which is workshop safety and organization. Okay. So today we are doing it online, and I'm hoping na you'll be all listening kasi I'll include this to your midterm exams, no? Yung safety. And you will have your first activity regarding this. And siguro by next week that we'll be doing this face to face, we will be having our activity on the workshop. Okay. So let's proceed with the discussion for today. Visible na ba?
Yes po, sir.
Yes po.
So again, this subject is ME408, Machine Shop Theory and Practice. So we will start with workshop safety. So safety is really important to every workplace. And we can say that we can identify a lot of hazard when we enter the workshop. No? Because we will be dealing with a lot of equipment, slate machine, milling machine, boring machine, and drilling machine. And I believe that having an interaction with those equipments may impose hazard. That is why we have to start this meeting with the workshop for safety. Okay. So let's proceed. Our lecture one is workshop safety and organization. So as you see, we have this general machine shop safety training. We have here the signages of the potential hazard that we will be that might be possible to encounter in the workshop. So there's a possibility of uh, uh, pinching, shearing, and so on. So may mga confined spaces tayo, and it is also indicated in the visuals yung mga PPEs like safety glasses for the potential flying objects and so on. Also the laser radiation. Okay. So let's proceed with the terms and definition. So yun, like what I've said, we will be having our first activity regarding this. We will walk through with the workshop. I'm just coordinating with the CIT, College of Industrial Technology, if they will allow us to use the workshop. So our first activity is to walk through to our machine shop and let's check all the equipments. Let's inspect all the equipments and identify all the possible hazard. And then after identifying the hazard, we look for the possible PPEs that we need to have in order to give us protection or at least eliminate those hazards. And at the same time, what are the additional system that we can put in place on all those equipment so that we will be ensuring that all of us will be safe during our interaction with those equipment. So that would be your first activity, and I think I will be grouping you. Uh, I will be grouping you to this activity. Okay. So to discuss, so I already shared this din pala with your Google Classroom, so you don't need to screenshot or take a picture of it. You can download it anytime naman with your Google Classroom. Okay. So pinch point. So kung makita nyo, there is a roller in the picture, a chain drive, and a gear. So sabi dito by definition, a pinch points are of course between rotating and fixed parts which can create a shearing, crashing, or a braiding action. So kung makita natin, reciprocating motion, kung makikita nyo on the picture, look onto the picture and we have a roller. So like what I've shared with the section earlier, with the class earlier, no, na there are potential safety issues pagdating sa mga equipments because we'll be interacting with them and there's mechanical objects moving. And I shared with them na one of my workmate before in PNG when I was working in a manufacturing company uh, got into accident dahil sinuot niya yung kamay niya with the rollers. So may tinatanggal siyang naka-stock na product, and then as he tried to remove yung stock na product in between the rollers, kinain yung kamay niya. So, ayun yung pinch point. So, that is why we put a lot of safety features then like machine guardings, yung mga other system that could protect yung mga operators natin on the equipment so that ma-eliminate natin yung mga ganong same case scenario. So, yun. Watch out na lang din if pumunta tayo with the machine shop is yun. Wag kayong masyadong magdudot-dot lalo pat kumbaga, we have to familiarize first with the machine safety features before we operate it. Okay. So, transverse motion by definition creates a hazard when the worker is pulled into the pinch point or shear point or is dragged by the moving parts into other moving parts. A cutting action, so rotating, reciprocating, or traverse motion. So danger exists at the point of operation where finger, head, and arm injuries occur and where flying chips or scrap material can strike or to eyes or face. So technically, because we will be dealing with the late machine, there's a lot of metal residue that might be possible to.
Sir, excuse me po.
Yes, yes.
Hindi po
Yes, po.
nalipat yung presentation.
Okay, okay. Mabagal yung internet dito sa school. Wait lang ah. I'll try to share it again. Nalipat na. Hello? Visible na sa inyo?
Sir, yung syllabus po ang makapresent.
Ayan. Lumalabas na sa inyo. Yung entire screen ko na yung share ko.
Yes po, sir.
Yes po, sir.
Ayan. Sumusunod na ba?
Yes
Opo,
po.
sir.
Opo.
Okay. So yan, sige, let's move back to the general machine shop safety training. Okay, makikita niyo dito yung mga signages, warning signages for all the potential hazard that we might be encountering to all the the equipments that we will be using. So it is the same with the other workplace wherein we put a lot of visuals. Why? Because let's parang we don't want to assume na everyone could write and read. That is why we put some visuals so that we can easily identify if there are possible dangers. Kasi parang sakit ng mga Pilipino yan that sometimes hindi tayo nagbabasa. Let's accept the fact na minsan hindi tayo nagbabasa. And parang we really rely on the visuals na parang in danger na pala pero gagalawin mo pa kasi hindi mo binasa yung instruction. But the good thing about it is that malayo pa lang, parang you'll see na may mga warnings na. No? So that is why really important itong mga visual natin, which is attached then to the equipments. Okay. Itong sinabi ko kanina, so we have this roller when I shared with you na one of my workmates got into a big accident wherein yun nga, dito sa roller natin, parang may stuck up na product and he tried to reach in to remove yung certain product that was stuck up in between rollers. So ang ginawa niya, kinuha niya yung product and then kinain ng rollers yung kamay niya. So, same scenario with the machine shop natin because there's a lot of moving parts. All of our equipments in machine shop are mechanically with the same scenario, with the same possible scenario. Okay. So, ayan yung kanina, yung transverse motion, and cutting action. So the punching action, so result when power is applied to slide for the purpose of blanking, drawing, or stamping metal or other materials. Danger of this type of action occurs at the point of operation where the stock is inserted, held, or withdrawn. So yan, may mga pinapunch tayo sa machine shop natin, no? So shearing action, so applying power to slide or knife in order to trim or shear metal or other materials. Hazard occurs at the point of operation where the stock is inserted, held, or withdrawn. So shearing machine, so possible na if you're already familiar with this during your workshop subject. Kasi doon, actually, when we are in college, parang ang project namin doon is yung toolbox wherein we need to cut yung mga plate, no? Yung mga stainless plate. And ayun, doon ginagamit yung shearing machine kung saan we place the entire SS plate and then doon namin siya kinakat. And there's a possibility ng incident doon kasi matalas yung yero, then matalas din yung scissors that we are using. So yun, kaya sabi dito, hazard occurs at the point of operation where the stock is inserted, held, or withdrawn. So bending action, same din. We have bending machine sa machine shop natin. We use also this during the workshop 1, dapat na-cover siya actually. If you did your actual, dapat nagamit natin itong bending machine natin. No? So applying power to slide in order to draw or form a metal. So yun yung pang-form ng metal natin kung ano yung requirement natin. So for example nga, like what I've mentioned to you, our final project for workshop is yung toolbox wherein we use the shearing machine, the bending machine, yung punching, yung mga we do the riveting. That's why parang we were able to use some of the equipments sa workshop because yun nga, yung to create a toolbox, you have to use the shearing machine, the bending machine, the drilling, the punching, riveting, and so on. Okay, so guards. So what we do dun sa how we address yung mga safety risk natin, no? So like what I've said, there's a lot of risks that might be involved operating those workshop equipment. And sabi ko nga, our activity is to identify those risks. Yun yung first activity natin. And then after identifying those risks, we should assess what are the system that we need to put in place in order to address those risks. It might be administrative, it might be engineering control. So when we say engineering control, ayan yung we put a system that, kumbaga, if hinawakan natin yung equipment na yon or nag-reach in tayo to a potential hazard, parang it automatically stops the machine. So yun yung mga engineering controls that we could provide to sa equipment. And after that, as an additional safety control, what are the PPEs or the personal protective equipment na that we will be using para to put an additional safety doon sa operator, no? Okay, so guards. So physical barriers that prevent access to danger areas. So it must prevent hands, arms, or any part of the body or clothing from making contact with dangerous moving parts. Should prevent contact, be secured and well constructed, and should protect from falling objects and contain the hazard. So yon. So itong machine guardings natin, usually yung mga doors, we put doors on the equipment para we couldn't reach in the machine, no? Pero sabi dito, it should also protect yung mga hands and arms natin and clothing. Kung mapapansin nyo, if we enter the machine shop, yung gloves is not allowed. Parang may mga certain times lang that we will be using gloves to the other processes. But when we are dealing with the moving object, like halimbawa, lathe machine and other rotating equipments, parang we are not allowed to use the gloves kasi there's a possibility na kainin nung moving object, or parang yung gloves might have a contact to the moving parts, and then pwedeng madrag yung kamay natin, no? That is why when you are doing some interaction with the lathe machine, parang as much as possible we prevent the use of gloves. So what are the types of guards? So we have the fixed guard. So by definition, it is a permanent part of the machine. So when we say permanent, it is not movable, like what I've mentioned, yung mga door natin and other barriers, so that we couldn't reach in on the equipment. So they are not dependent on moving parts to perform their intended function. So meaning, if we open the door, parang the machine is still moving. Kumbaga, we put in place a fixed guard, but it doesn't mean na parang it will protect you if you open it. Parang still, the risk is still there. We just contain the risk. We didn't eliminate, but we just contain. Kumbaga, yung parang pag napadaan ka, may possibility na hindi ka na ma-accident because guarded yung equipment. But that doesn't mean na if may behavior issue ka na parang you tried, parang medyo na ano ka na, maiipit kaya ako pag sinuot ko yung kamay ko, ganyan. Na-curious ka ba? Parang hindi tayo sure kung masasaktan ka or hindi. Parang yun nga, sakit natin kasi mga Pilipino yun minsan na parang we are really curious kung anong mangyayari sa atin. Kaya yun, itatry natin minsan, no? Na maiipit kaya ako dito, ganyan. So interlock guard, so when open or remove, the tripping mechanism or power are automatically shut off or disengaged. The machine cannot cycle until replaced. So yun, ito yung mga, pag sinabi nating interlock guards, ito yung mga sensor type of interlocks na if this is triggered, halimbawa, for example, may dalawang magnet attached to both doors, and if not in contact yung two magnets, the machine will not operate. Parang all the mechanism like pneumatic, if it is pneumatic driven, electrical, ang matitira lang dun sa system talaga is 12 volts. Yung mga for the safety features then, for example, yung mga electronic device niya, like yung mga lighting na required ng 12 volts, but the 240 volts and other voltages will be tripped. Kumbaga, it will automatically shut off. So, ayun yung use ng mga interlock guards natin. Okay, so for adjustable guards, allow flexibility in accommodating various sizes of stock. Properly adjusted, this guard provides protection from point of operation hazard. So if you enter the manufacturing industry, I asked some of your batchmates if they already did their field trips pero wala pa daw kayong opportunity to have a field trip no in a manufacturing company. So to share with you, I work nga in PNG wherein yun product namin is bottle, yung Joy, wherein it comes to different sizes. So meaning some of the guards then during the process ay kailangan naming i-adjust. So what we do is that parang based doon sa requirement, we adjust itong mga guards, no, yung mga safety guards natin para siya ay gumana yung machine. Because sabi ko nga sa inyo, if madali lang ng konti yung mga guards na to, it will automatically shut off the equipment. Kaya we put in place pa rin itong mga, we ensure that we adjust these guards based on the requirement o dun sa product requirement natin. No? So self-adjusting barriers, so ito yung mga fully automated machines wherein yung mga safety features niya automatically adjust based on the requirement. So parang you don't need to have an interaction. Kasi ano yung risk for the adjustable guards is that there's a possibility of human error. If kumbaga hindi niya, if the person involved didn't able to adjust it properly, parang there might still be the hazard, 'di ba? Pero unlike with the self-adjusting barrier na parang it is fully automated, there's still a possibility of human error for these self-adjusting barriers. Ano 'yun? Halimbawa, yung nag-program, kumbaga there's an issue with the program, there's an issue with the testing and commissioning na parang itong mga function is not captured well, parang there's still a risk. But yun nga, sabi nga natin, we put a lot of system para in order to address those risks. Kaya very important na we know how to identify what are the risks, what are the system that we need to put in place in order to eliminate those risks. Like sabi ko nga, engineering control, it might be engineering, it might be administrative, or it might be additional personal protective equipment to protect you from those hazard. Kasi nga, these are equipments, talagang may hazard. And as a mechanical engineer, we will be dealing with a lot of moving objects talaga. Kumbaga maybe some of you will be pushing for the design, but sabi ko nga, let's accept the fact na some of you and 50 to 70% of you might be working in the industrial and power plants wherein you will be interacting a lot with the moving objects. So that is why, kumbaga, this subject will really help you na maging familiar with the concepts, with the fundamentals ng safety, no? So, okay. Yan, meron din tayong mga photo electric presence sensing device. So ito yung mga if we interrupt yung light source, no, ay it will automatically stop the machine cycle. So meaning may mga ganito din tayo in a manufacturing plant, especially yung mga laser type to. Wherein kasi currently mga high-performing organization na yung mga ano natin mga industrial plants natin, and they really wanted to deliver din ng mabilis. Kaya parang one of the requirement din is to improve yung mga safety features ng equipment kasi the more they improve the efficiency of the machine, meaning mas malaki din yung risk sa mga operators, no. Okay, so presence sensing device either stops the machine or will not start if a hand or any body part is inadvertently placed in the danger area. So one of the example of the presence sensing, I don't know if may mga CR na kayo na pinuntahan wherein parang the lights automatically shut off pag wala ng tao, no? Parang it is part of the cost savings. But the same then with the other equipments in the manufacturing plant wherein if they sense a movement doon sa area of the equipment, parang it automatically stop the machine cycle. So, yun yung example lang ng presence sensing device. Okay. So presence sensing device create a sensing field that detects the presence of an object larger than the outline size. So when the signal is obstructed, the presence sensing device sends a stop signal to the machine. Okay. So radio frequency capacitance presence sending device. So uses a radio beam that is part of the machine circuit control. When the capacitant field is broken, the machine will stop or not activate. So yeah, may mga ganun din tayong features on the equipment. Pero sabi ko nga sa inyo, don't expect with our equipments in CIT because before parang may mga old model na rin, and kahit kami noon medyo nakukuryente na rin kami with the other equipments sa kalumaan, no? So yun, that's why we really have to identify first yung mga hazard on the equipment that we will be using para lang to ensure safety din to all of us. Ayoko namang may umuwing puto lang kamay sa inyo, di ka? So this device can only be used on machine which can be stopped before the worker reaches the danger zone. Usually may mga attached dito, no? Parang mga infrared to. Parang it is the same features before when nagka-COVID. So during the COVID time, parang may nilalagay sa aming badge wherein pag lumapit kami ng 1 meter with our workmate, nakikita. So pag uh, that would be the basis na need mong mag-quarantine. So meaning if may interaction ka with the suspected COVID patient and meron kang interaction within 1 meter, parang ito yung mga radio frequency device natin yung magmo-monitor if itong dalawang tao ba to naglapit, ganan. So ganun. So ito yung example ko kanina na electromechanical sensing device has a probe or contact bar. So usually this is a magnetic type, no? Wherein kapag yung dalawang magnet naghiwalay, parang it automatically stops the equipment. So meaning, ito yung sinasabi ko na they are very sensitive then with vibration. Kasi pag itong surface area ng two magnets na to naghiwalay, there's a possibility na it to stop the equipment, no? So ano ba yung mga ini-stop? Usually yung mga air supply, yung electric supply, like sabi ko nga, natitira lang is usually the 12 volts so that yung mga HMI and other function is still operational. But the rest of the function ng equipment is automatically shut off if itong two contacts na to is maghiwalay. Okay. So meron din tayong mga pullback device. So uses a series of cables attached to the operator's hand, wrist, and or arms. So used primarily on machines with a stroking action. So ito naman mga lumang design na rin, no, for some of the safety, additional safety features ng equipment. But I think hindi na rin ganun kagamitin to. Okay, so safety trip controls are devices that provide a quick means for deactivating the machine in an emergency situation. So, ayan. So, one of the example of this is that most of our equipments in manufacturing is end-to-end, meaning from making up to packaging up to the delivery of the actual finished good that was produced, naka-integrate siya sa iisang machine. So meaning we have to put every section ng mga safety trip controls. Yan yung mga emergency stops. Parang sabi nga, when we say emergency stop, it should be triggered during the emergency. So halimbawa may naipit kang kasamahan, so what you need to do is to press that specific emergency button so that the whole system ay tumigil. No? So to deactivate the whole system immediately. So kasi ang problema dito, if you put the safety button doon sa pinakamalayong portion, parang you need to take a lot of time before mo matrigger yung safety control. That is why, ayun, napahamak na yung kasamahan mo bago mo pa na-deactivate yung equipment mo. Okay. Sabi dito, a pressure-sensitive bar when depressed will deactivate the machine if the operator or anyone slip, trips, loses balance, or it's drawn toward the machine. Applying pressure to the bar will stop operation of machine. So may mga example din dito, yung mga barrier, yung mga rope type na sensor wherein pag natuunan mo siya or masanggi mo siya, it will automatically trips then yung equipment natin. Usually, this will be visible if you have the opportunity to visit some of the manufacturing plant or industrial plant. Makikita nyo itong mga uh, or you'll be able to visualize this safety trip controls. Okay. So it's position sensitive as it has to be activated by the operator during the emergency situation. Therefore, its position is critical to the operator. So I think this is my expectation with you. So during the time that we did the walkthrough sa machine shop, so I'm expecting na parang you'll be able to identify saan yung operator side when we'll be putting itong mga safety trip controls natin and additional safety features na parang if I trigger this button, parang the machine could kumbaga would deactivate immediately. So kasi parang ang sense ito is that during the emergency situation na naipit si operator, parang he can still reach in yung mga safety trip controls para it to automatically deactivate yung equipment, no? So yun yung expectation ko dun sa magiging output nyo. Okay. So PPE or the personal protective equipment. So sabi nga nila, we have a lot of controls in order to eliminate those hazards. First is to identify the hazard. Second is that we put engineering controls as much as possible because we are engineers, di ba? We are supposed to keep the world moving, but syempre, we need to provide na safe din yung lahat ng gagamit ng mga ginagawa natin or lahat ng mga dinedesign natin. So when exposure to hazard cannot be engineered completely out of the process and other forms of administrative procedures cannot provide additional protection, a supplementary method of control is personal protective equipment. So this is just a supplementary control, but it will not completely eliminate yung mga hazard. Sabi nga, ano ba yung mga engineering controls natin? So kanina, we put guardings, we put additional safety triggers, we put mga sensors in order to at least eliminate or reduce the hazard involved. Pag sinabi naman natin na administrative procedures, parang we focus on the behavior of the person. So for example, parang yun nga sinadya niyang isuot yung kamay niya doon o kumbaga na-curious nga siya, parang may proper procedure pero hindi niya sinunod, yung mga ganon. So we can put an administrative control na binibigyan natin siya nila ng mga notice to explain. Sometimes the operator got suspended with their work dahil ng yun nga may mga behavior issues na nilabag yung operator. But sabi nga, most of the companies are investing with safety. Bakit? Kasi it could affect the brand. Isipin mo, bibili ka ba ng isang produkto na may safety issue. So for example, it is a food manufacturing. Tapos may issue na nagiling, for example, yung tao inside the equipment. Di ba parang what would be the impact on your product? So parang most of the customers parang hindi nabibili sa'yo because parang nakatatak na sa'yo na ay kadiri yan, may nagiling dyan sa gilingan ng product nila. So kumbaga it could really affect the brand. And also, parang it is also monitored by the Department of Labor and Employment to ensure na safe tayo lahat. So same with the machine shop, dito kasi nangyayari yung most of the accident and incidents talaga. That is why most of the manufacturing company are eliminating na itong mga in-house machine shops kasi most of the incidents dito nang gagaling. So, naiipit, napuputulan ng kamay. Kasi nga, sobrang risky. There's a lot of hazard inside the machine shop. Kaya nga, itong workshop safety orientation, ito yung una sa syllabus natin. So, magkaroon kayo ng background or a little bit background on the possible and potential hazard that we will be dealing with sa mga equipment na gagamitin natin, no? Moving forward. Okay. So PPE is not a substitute for engineering or administrative control. So hindi siya substitute kasi sabi nga we still need to improve yung mga safety features of our equipment because PPE is just a supplemental but not a substitute, or it could not address the risk. Kumbaga, kahit magsuot ka ng gloves, the risk is still there. Kumbaga, parang kumbaga, it just reducing yung potential damage to you, but you didn't totally contain or eliminate the hazard itself. Okay. So ito ay naka-base sa ating occupational safety and health standard set controls for PPE usage. So if you have time or if you'll be kumbaga yung safety engineering nyo pag gagana na kayo, so maiikutan nyo naman tong OSHA standards natin. So these are the types of PPE. So meron tayong eye and face protection. So kung makikita nyo with this, yung blue one, so we use this pag nag-grind tayo. So may mga spark kasi tayo na tsaka yung mga debris that could possibly contaminate yung eye natin. That's why we are using this face shield. And then the next one is a safety goggles. And the other one is we use when we are doing welding works. I think welding work should be part of workshop, but I don't know if you're able to at least see a welding machine sa CIT, no. But during our time, we were able to do welding works then after the use of yung after creating yung toolbox. So the employer shall ensure that each affected employee uses appropriate eye or face protection when exposed to eye or face hazard from flying particle. So usually it adjusted din, no? So during the time na parang nasa gitna tayo ng COVID, we are using face protection also, di ba? Parang naging mandatory yung use ng mga face mask, face shields. So parang the workplace itself, nag-improve din. Kaya kung makikita nyo, may mga updates tayo on the occupational safety and health natin because of the COVID pandemic. Okay, so respiratory protection. So a respirator shall be provided to each employee when such equipment is necessary to protect the health of such employee. So nakita ko doon, may nabasa akong isang article regarding this, na parang it is also in the Philippines wherein parang isang chemical plant, parang yung engineer is pumasok siya dun sa room na yon. But yung room na yon you should use a full PPE with a respirator to block the air. Parang ganun. Kasi once na masinghot mo yung certain chemical na yun, parang mamamatay ka na. So ngayon parang nakalimutan ng engineer na yun nga, na magsuot ng PPE. So ang nangyari, by the time, parang nagpaalam na siya sa kanila kasi alam na niya yung mangyayari sa kanya. Parang in a minute, ayun, nawala na rin si engineer kasi nga, nasinghot niya yung ano. So isa yun sa mga watch out natin din pag kayo ay nasa professional nyo na, practice nyo na, to always follow yung mga safety guidelines because yun nga, this safety are our foundation. Kumbaga, minsan iwanan na natin yung trabaho, it could delay the work, pero we should always prioritize safety. Ayan. So head protection, so technically, nakakita naman na kayo nito yung mga hard hats. So we use this pag sa construction, pag may mga possible falling objects. Ayan. So foot protection, ayan yung mga mga safety shoes natin that we are using. Especially may mga special safety shoes din tayo, no, with na ginagamit if we'll be dealing with high voltage electrical. Yun nga, example din ito, I have a workmate din na lagi siyang nakahat pag kumakain, tapos nakahat din siya during the time na nag-work. So naka-hard hat siya. So nung nakwento sa akin ng isa kong ka-work na parang he got into electrical accident, wherein parang he uses yung ibang maling tester and then high voltage yung dumaloy sa kanya na na-damage yung ulo niya. So parang nasunog yata yung buong ulo niya kaya hindi na siya nagkakabuhok. So medyo nahihiya siya. That's why pala he covered it all that time. So yun, sobrang halaga ng mga foot protection natin when we are exposed with this kind of hazard, yung mga electrical hazard. Usually yun, at saka yung mga falling objects natin when we are dealing with the mechanical, yung mga mechanical moving machines. No? So protective footwear must comply with any of the following consensus standards. Ayan, may mga ESTM and ANSI requirement tayo na sinusunod. So hand protection, so employer shall select and require employees to use appropriate hand protection. Ayan, may mga iba't iba rin tayong hand protection. So we are not using the same gloves with the different kind of workload. Kasi we have yung mga tela lang, we have hand protection for chemicals, we have yung mga thermal gloves para dun sa mga burns no in harmful temperature extremes. So usually in a manufacturing plant may mga ganito tayo na ginagamit. So an abrasive wheel is grinding tool consisting of bonded abrasive grains. So yan, nag-grind tayo. So technically, we are using abrasive wheel machinery sa machine shop 2 kasi may mga gag-grind dapat tayo supposedly. And hoping makapag-grind naman tayo, magamit natin yung some of the equipments there para at least you have the background din pag nasa industry na kayo, no? Or at least yung mga fundamentals of this. So grinding wheels are made of natural or synthetic abrasive materials bonded together in a matrix to form a wheel. So yan, yung mga flat disc, cylinder cups, cones, wheels with specific cuts and grits. So abrasive wheel hazards that can occur using abrasive wheels include but are not limited to shocks, scrapes, cuts, eye injuries, and loss. Finger injury and loss. Kasi ito nga, when we are grinding, kung makikita nyo yung mga grinding machines natin, may mga sparks that could damage our eye. That's why we really need to use yung mga safety goggles. Finger injury because there might be an interaction between your finger and the moving object. Yun nga. And medyo maingay din to. Kaya that's why we are using mga earmuffs, head plugs, lalo sa mga industry. Because parang there's an acceptable decibel limits lang na kayang i-tolerate nung tenga natin. No? Yan. So hazard can be created by external factors. So distraction by someone, ito yung parang laging ang sinasabi na eyes on the task. Minsan kasi may marites sa gilid mo kung ano-ano chinichika, tapos may ginagawa ka, ayan, distracted ka na, naipit na palang iyong kamay, diga. So horseplay in or around work area. So it's really important talaga na you focus on your work or to stop for a while if talagang you need to talk with someone, parang you want to rest for a while, parang it's really important to stop the work for a while. Conversation with someone while operating machinery na out of focus ka na. Reaching across working areas. Yung nasa kabilang banda yung iyong mga tools and you reach in. Ganyan dahil tinatamad ka ng diba? Wearing jewelry. So, really important when we enter itong machine shop natin, we remove all the jewelries, including necklace, rings, mga relo natin. Dahil there's a possibility na kainin siya ng mga equipment natin. So, long hair should be tied up and back. So, loose-fitting clothing. So, yan. That's why may mga acceptable na damit lang din inside the machine shops. No? Bawal yung masyadong maluwag kasi, yun nga, like what I've mentioned, may mga moving object tayo na pwedeng kainin ng equipment if masyadong maluwag yung mga suot. And hot sparks. Okay. So yan, yung mga mechanical power press tayo when we bend the machine, when we bend yung mga plates natin, no, we use mechanical power presses. And itong mga mechanical power presses natin, may mga iba't ibang klase rin tayo. We have yung hydraulic, we have mechanical press itself, and yun, mga pneumatic press tayo. But in the manufacturing industry, most likely we use the pneumatic press. In the construction industry, we use the hydraulic one. And sa mga small scale industry, we use the mechanical press, no? Parang may certain weight we're in, parang to press yung gusto nating i-press. Yan. Mechanical, hydraulic, and pneumatic. Sorry medyo boring talaga. We really had a good parang interaction kanina during the face-to-face classes and hindi siya naging boring kasi in between we were able to at least give insights din. Siguro this is one of the struggle of this online class din. No? That's why I really wanted to meet you then face to face. But it just so happened na kahapon, parang wala pa rin naman tayong fixed room. That is why I decided to move it through online na din. But yun nga, magkikita-kita naman tayo and hope na kumbaga you really have the opportunity to enjoy my class. Kasi kanina naman medyo interactive talaga kami. And siguro, yun nga, I really have to at least shift then with the communication because we have a foreign student and uh, kumbaga, I have to adjust also to use English language then to at least discuss this topic. So yan, a press is a mechanically powered machine that punches, shears, forms, or assembles metal or other materials by means of cutting, shaping, or combination of dies attached to slides or rounds. Ayun, pagka we usually use this kapag yung may mga ipipress tayo o ipapunch tayo na masyado ng makapal and we need to form this certain part na masyado ding yung thickness is yun nga, medyo thick siya and we need a really full force to form that specific material. Okay, ayan yung example ng mechanical press natin. I think we have one sa machine shop natin. So, I have here the parts of the mechanical press which I need you to provide then kapag nag-walk through tayo. Why? Because you cannot identify the hazard involved if you are not familiar with the parts itself, the equipment. I'm not expecting you to know all the parts, but kahit yung mga important parts lang is makover natin so that yung mga external, yung mga kita ng mata natin, na there's a possible hazard. But I'll give an example, I'll give a template na magiging pattern nyo. Baga, ang goal naman natin dito is for you to have the knowledge na makagawa ng simple hazard, kumbaga ng risk analysis. Then, and it could help you also kasi we will be dealing with this equipment for 18 weeks, no? And parang it's really important that you know the safety features, the risk involved, and what are the PPEs that we need to use before we before we operate those equipments. Okay, for a while. Okay. So, ayan yung sinabi ko, you have to identify what are the main hazard. So, if I place my hand, what would be the possible hazard, the potential hazard? If I reach in and I bypass this guarding doors, what would be the potential hazard? Okay, so safeguards most commonly used. So barrier guards, presence sensing device, radio frequency sensor, and light curtains. Pullback devices. Actually, yung mga pullback devices, we use this talaga sa mga machine shop. No? Pero yun nga, I'm expecting na aside from identifying the hazard dun sa activity natin, parang you'll be able to provide also yung mga engineering controls. Kumbaga hindi naman natin to i-apply on the equipment kasi we don't have the budget naman to do this. But at least may insights lang tayo. What are the additional protection that we could provide to this equipment so that we could improve yung features then of the machine itself. Maybe some of you will be working in the industry na gumagawa ng mga machine shop equipments. No? So at least medyo ano na kayo familiar. And you can also suggest this then if ever, parang you can make suggestion to your employers then if you're employed na siguro mga 2 years from now you will all be engineers. Hoping na 2 years na lang because you're already on your second year and in God's will, siguro possible na engineers na kayo in 2 years. No? And if you're already employed, parang it would be additional point for you. if you can make suggestion on how to improve the current safety process, no, of the industry that you'll be hired. Okay. So ito in overview ko lang din yung robots because some of the machine shops ay mga automated na rin. But sa atin naman, this is not really applicable because aside from we are not automated in our workshop, most of the equipments are not functional na rin. That is why sabi ko sa kanila, you can just read this for you to have at least a background, but I will not include din na rin sa concept natin on our exams, on midterm exams. No? Ayan. So, yung mga arc welding natin, yan, may mga welding room, may mga robotic na tayo for welding, no? Parang wala ng human interaction. Like, example nito, yung mga 3D printings natin. Ayan, mga robot na siya. No? You just have to put the program and it will automatically, kumbaga, fabricate yung requirement nyo. Okay. Yung robot natin, they are not perfect because kumbaga they are gawa pa rin ng tao. So there's possibility of human error pa din during programming wherein yung mga programmers natin pwedeng nagkamali. And then program touch up yung mga tipong parang they are on the preliminary testing pa rin. Maintenance or repair, parang the maintenance is not conducted on the required. So parang may mga nag-fail na parts, no? So, testing setup or adjustment. Ayan. So, during many of these operations, the operator, programmer, or maintenance worker may temporarily be within the robot's working envelope where unintended operations could result in injuries. Ayun. So, even may mga robots tayo, kumbaga may mga operators pa rin tayo that could be at risk. Kasi kumbaga kumbaga nabawasan lang yung workforce but there's still an operator for this robotics, no? And if it is not kumbaga hindi siya maintained properly, there's a possibility pa rin ng injuries. So what are the mechanical hazards? So colliding with equipment, being crushed, injured by falling objects. Yun nga, sabi ko sa inyo, we are mechanical engineers and we will be exposed with a lot of mechanical hazard. Mapa Machine Shop Jan or to the real world if mag-work na kayo. So, ayun yung risk natin talaga as engineers. Or maybe you'll not be dealing with a mechanical hazard because you're on the design team. But syempre, always remember that yung mga design natin, there's an end user. Kumbaga, we have to protect those end user pa din. That's why we should have at least the overview dun sa mga ginagawa natin. Okay. So, yan, lakdawan na natin. You can read this. I already uploaded this on your Google Classroom. So, you have the copy then. Ayan. Yun, that is why yung mga scheduled maintenance natin is really important, no? Kasi even we schedule a maintenance, may mga unexpected downtime pa rin tayo. Kumbaga may mga premature breakdowns pa rin tayo na ma-occur, na possible pa rin na mag-cause ng injury to the operator. That is why we always review the system. We continuously improve the system that we have in the manufacturing industry, no? So that we will be able to eliminate yung mga unscheduled maintenance natin or breakdowns. Because breakdowns could lead to bigger safety issue. Alam ko nag-trending before yon yung sa URC because I used to work in Universal Rubino Corporation also. But it happened in I think, in Cebu plant wherein parang naglilinis yung worker inside yung mixing machine. And then habang naglilinis siya, one of his workmate accidentally opened the equipment and nagiling siya. Isipin mo 500 kilograms yung iniloload doon sa equipment and naikutan siya ng mixer. And then yun, medyo malma nga yung nangyari sa kanya and talagang yun, namatay din yung involved. So that's why yung Department of Labor and Employment parang forced closure din during that time for investigation. No? And sabi ko nga sa inyo, it could affect the brand. Isipin mo, parang tatatak na sa isip ng mga consumer na ay hindi naman safe yung mga workers dyan or may accident dyan na parang they might be thinking twice before nila bilhin yung product mo. Okay. So yun, in-overview ko lang sa inyo yung robotics. Kasi yun nga, may mga robots na tayo sa industry. But yun nga, sa atin naman, sa machine shop natin, we don't have yet this type of equipment. Ito yung mga mechanical limiting device, yung mga discuss natin kanina is part of also the robots kasi nga fully automated siya. So, marami siyang sensors. So ito yung pinaka-importante and I think this would be one of the most important thing na gagawin natin kapag may intervention tayo with our equipment, yung lock-out, tag-out. So in some of the industry, we call this lotto. But now, we call this lototo. So lock-out, tag-out, and try-out. When we say lock-out, we put a lock on the kumbaga, on the equipment para hindi na siya magalaw. Usually, we put a lock on all the energized part of the equipment. For example, electrical supply, the air or pneumatic supply. Nagpuput tayo ng lock talaga, as in the literal na padlock. And then, anong tag out? We put a tag. We put a tag what we are doing. Is it a maintenance? Is it a breakdown? Are we having a machine intervention on the equipment? So that ma-notify yung other personnel. For example, you are two engineers working in the field and then nag-CR break or bio break si engineer 1 and then yung pala hindi aware si engineer 2 na there's an intervention with the equipment and nakuryente siya kasi is not aware with the issue. That is why we put a lockout, we put a tag out to notify, and then the additional is try out. We try out if the equipment is still energized. Kasi minsan kahit wala na siya, kahit nakapatay na yung mga sources, may mga natitirang energy like electrical, pneumatic na yung mga cylinders niya meron pang tirang mga hangin that could still uh, injure you. The intent of tag out is to safeguard employees from the unexpected startup. So yung pala, meron pang maintenance on the equipment and ginalaw mo na. Ayan. So, and the release of hazardous energy. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na that was added on the lotto. So we call this now lotto to. Lockout is the placement of lockout device on an energy isolation device. Ayan. We put a lockout on a circuit breaker, slide gate, line valve, disconnect switch. You can also apply this at home if yun nga, meron kayong mga maintenance works on your home, may mga circuit breakers kayo. 'Di ba? What we do is we off the circuit breaker. But minsan malayo yung circuit breaker, parang may ginagawa kayo on the second floor and the circuit breaker is located on the first floor. Tapos parang hindi alam ni kasama mo sa bahay that you have an intervention with doon sa second floor, the accident din yun. So this is not just on the workplace but we can also apply this at home. Ayan. So the lockout device must be substantial enough to prevent removal without the use of excessive force or unusual techniques. So may mga acceptable locks lang tayo na ginagamit kasi pwedeng puwersahin. Minsan sundutin lang ng kung ano yung karayom and all para nasisira na yung lock. As in, lock to ha, as in yung padlock na ginagamit sa gate na mga heavy duty. Yun yung ginagamit natin for the lockout. Kaya we still modify yung equipment because some of the equipments are not ready for this. Kumbaga parang walang mga possible na pag-lockoutan. So parang ang ginagawa na lang is we off the switch pero yun pa rin. There's a possibility of risk nga. That is why ngayon si Dole is really implementing this. Talagang nag-iikot na siya sa mga workplace natin ngayon to audit ano yung mga safety risk on the equipments. Okay. So yun, I think na mention ko na rin naman yung mga ano natin. So for the summary, so be aware of the dangers of the machine you are operating. So that is why I am expecting that after this discussion and as we walk through, if you have the opportunity na by next week to walk through on the workshop, you'll be able to identify what are the hazards that we will be dealing with our equipment or to the equipment that we will be utilizing. Use all required safety equipment if there is. Ensure guards are in place and functional at all time. Have pre-operational checklist for equipment safety features. Follow all safety requirement in place in the shop you are working in. And do not use an iPad to music while operating machinery. So yan, yung mga nagpapatugtog, ganyan, hindi nyo magamit yung mga senses nyo kasi busy kayo or distracted. So, ayun, yun lang naman for the workshop safety orientation natin for this day. Sorry, gumagalaw ba yung ano ko? Gumagalaw yung screen ko kanina?
Yes po.
Yes
Yes
po.
po, sir.
Mm-mm. Ayun, siguro hoping na ma-meet ko na kayo. Siguro by next week pa tayo mag-meet, no? Supposedly nga kahapon, dapat tayo ay magkikita-kita na. Good thing naman I am able to meet na yung two sections. And yun nga, sabi ko sa inyo, wag kayo masyadong ma-pressure on this subject. As much as possible, ang goal ko lang is matuto kayo. And yun nga, be prepared lang din na pagdating niya sa industry. But yung mahirapan kayo sa subject ko is hindi kasama yon, no? Sabay-sabay lang din tayong matuto for this subject. Ayun. May mga question ba kayo?
Wala naman po.
Bali, in-upload ko na to. Siguro, i-mention ko na lang din sa inyo what would be your grouping. So, yung group na yon is from every activity up to the final project natin. Ayun na yung grupo nyo. Para hindi na rin masyadong mahirap. At least, tulong-tulong na lang din kayo with the output, no? Pero ensure nyo naman na tulong-tulong kayo kasi nga, syempre tayo namang lahat ay maraming ginagawa because all of you naman ay enrolled din with, I think, with the same subjects. And yun nga, cooperation at saka tulungan lang talaga tayo dito sa subject mo para at least we could comply on what is indicated on the syllabus. Kaya yun, siguro gawin ko muna yung template. Let me coordinate then first with the CIT because I really wanted you to have an experience in talaga to use our machine shop. And then i-advise ko sa kayo on what would be your grouping. Ibigay ko rin yung templates natin for every activity para at least meron na kayong reference on what will dun sa mga output that you will be submitting. And yun lang naman yung ano natin. Makagamit tayo talaga ng machine shop natin. Sige. Lizelle, may question ka?
None po, sir.
Oo. Sorry, hindi ko alam if may nag-chat kasi sa akin yesterday. Ito ay 2:05, no? 22:05. Sabi ko kasi, dun sa with the other coordinators, no, pa-connect na lang ako kasi possible may mag-connect sa inyong student na parang may conflict daw with the schedule. Kasi parang meron daw yatang commitment sa church. I don't know if sa Saturday or sa Sunday siya, may conflict. But sabi ko nga, if face-to-face, kailangan talaga, hindi, I cannot commit you na parang fully online lang yung mapuntahan nyo kasi nga, I'm really trying for you to have an actual intervention with our machine shop. Wala namang problema pag online, you can attend other classes. Pero ang worry ko lang is yung actual face-to-face natin. Siguro, I think, kung may mag-coordinate sa inyo na student, kayo na yung magplano what would be the setup. But ang advice ko is that if face-to-face tayo, talagang maka-attend kayo, any of the section naman, wala ring problema sa akin kasi tayo naman currently synchronize with the other section. Kumbaga na nakapag-discuss ako ng kumbaga na yung lecture 1 natin about safety were discussed dun sa first section, kayo yung second section, and then mamaya meron ulit ako. So yun na lang siguro ang ang request ko pag may kumausap sa inyong mga kaklase nyo regarding dun sa paglipat ng section, ay wala namang problema sa akin basta makaka-attend kayo with the face-to-face din natin in actual. Kasi yun ang intent ng workshop natin. We are not supposed to have online nga. Nagulat nga ako because we have online classes. But siguro okay lang, we could discuss through online naman yung mga fundamentals and mga terminologies. But we have this 3 hours lecture, laboratory na sana yun nga, maka-attend lahat naman. No? Currently nga ngayon, 32 lang tayo on the chat, 34 kayong enrolled sa akin. Ako ay, kumbaga, maluwag din naman ako kung talagang kayo hirap sa schedule. Pero if hindi kayo papasok talaga the entire discussion, ayun na yung talagang, ako nag-check din kung sino yung mga wala dito. Though parang I receive a message naman yesterday dun sa absent. Pero yun lang, please avoid na lang class, no? Kasi tayo naman ay minsan ay mag-early out din. Hindi naman natin i-cover yung entire time. If may mga personal kayong gagawin during the online, ay pwede naman sigurong allot time lang. Siguro mga 1 hour dito. And hindi ko kayo pinipigilan kung ano yung other activities nyo pa. Pero yun, as much as possible, yun lang yung expectation ko with all of you. Is attendan nyo naman yung klase ko. Dahil yun, parang ako ay from Laguna pa. For 4 a.m. umaalis na ako ng bahay, nagigising ako ng 3. And nakakarating din naman ako sa school on time. So meaning, parang maintindihan ko if the reason is may sakit kayo and all. Pero yun, respect natin ang oras ng bawat isa because we allot time pa rin para kayo ay matuto. Diga. Yun lang naman ang aking request sa inyo. Currently tayo ay 31. So, meron tayong, wait lang, tatlo. Kasi 34 yung enrolled sa subject natin. So, may 3 absent. Ako yung magtatawag. Sorry i-roll call ko lang kayo. Sorry. Parang kahapon, ang dami na rin absent sa inyo. Parang hindi tayo nakaka 100% sa attendance. Anyway. Tama na 2:05 tayo, no?
Yes po, sir.
Yes po.
Si Adonai nandito. Adonai. Pwedeng pa-mic para... Adonai? Nandito? Hello? Adonai. Sorry Pwedeng magsalita kayo sa mic if... Say present if nandito kayo. Adonai Ernest. Gabriel H. Dave Simon Aguila. Si Billy Aguilar. Billy Aguilar. Hello, Billy? Nandito ba si Billy? So, ayun na-verify ko na. So, pag nahanap ko na yung 3 hindi mag-present, ayun yung absent for today, no? Si Claudine Alvarez nandito.
Present po, sir.
Edsel Angeles.
Present po.
Jose Anorico.
Present po.
Jasha Azucena.
Present po.
Alvin Barola.
Present po, sir.
John Jeremy Batas.
Present po.
Nina Biscocho.
Present po.
Reggie Cardenas.
Present po.
Si Jed Kunag.
Present po, sir.
Si Lazel nandito naman. Si Manilyn de la Ombria. Manilyn